firefighting issue, and I was wondering if, for Admiral Thomas, if the regulations, the SMFF regulations, delineate a list of exercises and drills that vessel owners are required to conduct. Are those vessel operators conducting those required drills?
Thank you for the question, Congressman. Yes, the regulations do specify, as was testified to, a number of different verification processes, including exercises and drills. The Coast Guard has limited resources to oversee all of those, but we do oversee the ones that we can. I think this is really a question about our capacity to verify compliance with the SMFF regulations. And as I testified to in the earlier panel, we are limited in our capacity across our Coast Guard. But we do have a robust verification currently underway. That the verification process itself, sir, is limited by some legal requirements in terms of how much information we can ask for from regulated entities. So we're conducting that verification in the course of required plan renewals.
So what kind of legal requirements are there if in fact the law says that you are supposed to verify that these drills are taking place?
Well, sir, so we, for example, we can attend and oversee the drills that are required by the law. But what we're limited is our ability to ask for additional information that we might use for verification outside of the normal cycle in which a regulated entity would normally be providing that information to the Coast Guard. I think a key thing to understand here is that these regulations do not regulate anybody at this table, at least not the four gentlemen to my left. They regulate vessel operators, and those operators are compelled to comply with the regulations by procuring services from the likes of the gentleman to my left. And that's, I think, really one of the fundamental issues here.
Much like the Osro model.
Much like the Osro model, the salvage business model developed differently for a lot of reasons that Mr. Schauer touched on, but it's very similar in terms of the legal and regulatory construct.
Okay. Is it NIDO? NIDO?
NIDO, thank you.
NIDO, sorry. All right. You said that earlier. Thank you. What would a successful verification process look like in your opinion?
Well, I think it's a comprehensive and robust verification process for the response resources that we address would simply identify a vessel crossing within the 50-mile barrier, falling within the jurisdiction of salvage marine firefighting, and asking that vessel where its response resources are, and then determining whether they have contracts with those resources which require them to respond. If the contract provides that they'll respond if they're available, it does not meet the legal requirements. If the vessels are 600 nautical miles away or not in the captain of the port zone, it does not meet those requirements operationally. We provided evidence of that to the Coast Guard in 2015 with our application for an alternative planning criteria, evidence of the operational legal deficiencies in every captain of the port zone, and they responded saying they would do a robust verification to determine if, in fact, those deficiencies were apparent. That has not come to fruition. Admiral Thomas, by the way, is a man of unquestioned integrity and tremendous leadership, and we have great respect for him. However, this program has not been reporting to him, so I do not believe he's as knowledgeable about the lack of verification. And his response to your question about whether they're conducting or requiring the mandatory drills and exercises, to my knowledge, I'm not aware of one shipping company that's required to provide those.
Yeah, great. That's thank you. I think we need to explore that a little further, but I appreciate it. Thanks a lot. I yield back.
Thank the gentleman. Mr. Graves.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate it.